Hello,
Hello.
and welcome to Planet Marzipan, the Fish and Marillion podcast. I'm Mezza, and here's my mate,
Craig Houston. Recording in progress. It's working.
I'm going to hit your button because it always fucks up with me.
I do the backup one, yes.
It's an American lady, then.
Yeah,
Yeah, every time we do a big
could get the
interview,
Geordie version.
oh, that's an idea, isn't it?
Yeah, you should do it, yeah.
Hey, Geordie sat nav as well.
Yeah.
You missed it, you daft bastard. Turn back. Turn back.
How are things going then, chaps?
All right, yeah. We're just rattling these out every week, aren't we, really? And reviewing albums and interviewing people. We've got George next week.
Oh, okay.
Ian's thinking now.
Oh, no, I just think I should send her some money if she's on it next week. Flowers and money.
Well, let's do an intro.
Go on, then.
Hello, and welcome to Planet Marzipan. I'm Mezza, and I'm here with my good friend.
Craig.
And we have a very special guest this week. We welcome the president himself, Ian Mosley.
Hey, good evening, chaps.
Good
Hi,
evening. We should start singing Hail to the Chief, shouldn't we?
Ian. Oh,
He's too young. He's too young for president at this time. Too young.
Someone said that the other day to me. I think it was Mark Kelly. He said that I'm too young. You know, I've got to wait a few more years before.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not wrong. It's not wrong.
Too inexperienced. You haven't been around long enough yet.
How's things, Ian?
Good. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, pretty good. It's pretty quiet at the moment, really, because we just got back from the cruise, the cruise to the edge,
Yeah.
which I used to, the thought of going on a cruise. I always thought of it as deck chairs and a blanket over your knees, but I've got to say, this one that we just did, I really did enjoy it. I think mainly because from the social side of it all, because there were lots of other bands playing, and Steve Hackett was on.
Yeah.
And of course, he's my old boss.
He is.
So it's great to see him. And Simon Phillips, amazing drummer, a really good bloke. And we sort of hung out for our gigs were at the beginning of the week. We were on the boat for about 6 days. So we did the first 2 days, and then I was kind of ligging for the rest of the week. So I hung out with Simon Phillips, really, which was just great because we go back a long, long way.
Yeah. Who was Simon playing with?
With his own band called
Right.
Protocol, which is a kind of jazz fusion act. I mean, his playing is phenomenal. And then also he was doing a kind of guest appearance with a band called Life Signs.
Oh, yeah, no, Life Signs. Yeah.
John Young's band,
John
yeah.
Young, yeah.
Yeah. So, and that was really good as well. It's great watching him. I think he just stepped in and did it. So
Right.
he actually, I don't know how many days rehearsals he had, but everything he played was spot on. So that was it. It was just great. As I said, the social side of it.
Yeah.
And of course, we had guesting with us, Nick Beggs, basically.
Yeah.
And what a lovely man he is. Apart from being, a great player, he's just a really lovely bloke.
Yeah.
He just makes me smile all the time.
He seems permanently full of some kind of mischief, doesn't he?
Yes, yeah.
Oh yeah. He's always up to something. In fact, I didn't see any of them, but he had. He's known for, apart from he's well known for his bass playing, but he's known for occasionally wearing a mankini.
Yes.
And my eyes still haven't recovered from that.
I know. What was funny was that suddenly I saw loads of photos on sort of Facebook and stuff of people holding up inflatable Nick Beggs wearing a mankini. And I just thought, what's he doing? And I think he had a load made up and he was just leading them around the boat,
Yeah.
which was brilliant.
Yeah.
So that was he did a fantastic job, and he did a lot of homework because he had a lot of material to learn, and did a great job.
And how was it for you playing with a different bass player after all this time?
Yeah, it was a little bit strange, but it was really good. I mean, Nick really stuck to the kind of basic patterns, rhythmically, of what Pete was playing. At the same time, he kind of put his own stamp on a couple of things, like in track chords. He played some really nice things to that. But yeah, it was strange because, as you said, I've been together. Me and Pete have been in the engine room for Marillion for 40 odd years, 35.
Yeah, 40.
No, it's 40 years and 6 months or something
40
like that.
years.
Not being a total ladder.
Yeah.
Don't rub it in.
It's only been 25. It's only been 25, you're fine.
Yeah, for at least 10 years,
Yeah.
But yeah, you sort of take it for granted. I mean, me and Pete, we don't have to talk to each other about stuff. We just play and know each other's playing what we're about. It's just unspoken, really. We just do it. So yeah, that was quite strange. But yeah, I miss Pete. But he's doing very well.
Yeah, he looked well on the Zoom call, and
yeah,
you've clubbed together and bought him a new lightweight bass. Had a whip round.
Yeah, the Marillion whip round.
He doesn't know it's on the other load though.
Yeah, I think he was really chuffed about it, actually.
Yeah.
Steve Rothery was the instigator of that. He just emailed around everybody and said, saw this bass, what do you think, boys? So that's how that came about. But
That's a nice idea, because he did look really chuffed.
yeah, I mean, he really is not allowed to do anything still at the moment.
Right.
Apart from, I think the first couple of weeks he was allowed to walk about 15 minutes a day. Then they upped it to 30 minutes a day, then an hour. But he still wasn't, I don't know about now, but last week he still wasn't allowed to be lifting anything.
Right. I think I saw he posted on Facebook, it might have been last week, that he was allowed to drive again.
Oh, Jesus. Really?
Well, I might be wrong, but he's out and about, because obviously he's visiting a few coffee shops with Fiona, I've seen.
Yeah, I think Fiona's probably driving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've offered him, if he wants to lift anywhere, I'm cheap.
It's not on the meter then, no?
No, I'll get one installed.
Did you see many other bands then? I mean, obviously socially on the cruise you saw a lot of people, but did you go to see many of the band's gigs?
Yes. Well, I tried to see as many as possible, but who did I see? I saw Protocol. I saw they did 2 gigs, and I saw both of those. I saw Life Signs. I saw Steve Hackett band. Mm-hmm. They were great, actually, really good.
What do you make of Craig Blundell?
Oh, he's a great player.
Yeah,
he's great, and he's another one. He's a really nice guy. Of course, him and Nick are big mates because they've been in bands together.
Well, they've got their own trifecta thing, haven't they? Which is a jazzy thing they're doing at the minute.
Yeah, and Nick's got lots of projects on the go, and they're all very interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure I'll probably work with Nick again in the future at some point. I don't know when, but yeah, Craig. He's, as I said, he's a great player. I can't believe the amount of touring Steve Hackett's been doing the last few years. I mean, it's just non-stop.
Yeah.
But I said to him last time I saw him, I said, "You're going to have a rest." He said, "Oh, I don't know." He just loves it. He loves playing.
He's got it really well planned out. I mean, the end of a tour just segues into the start of the next tour. He's got his full year planned out, and like you say, he's all over the world. I think the Genesis Revisited thing has really sort of boosted him and boosted his audiences as well.
Oh, big time! Yeah, definitely. I think the timing of it all was spot on, really.
Yeah, fantastic. Did you do any? The band were involved in, or were asked to do paintings on the boat, weren't they?
No, I didn't get involved
You
in.
abstained there, did you?
Yeah, I mean, really, I can draw a stick man, but that's about it. I think we got Nick involved because he was doing all sorts of. I mean, I think, yeah, Nick has illustrated books and all sorts of
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
Quite gifted in that area.
You made it up onto the to see the captain though, didn't you?
Yes, we got to, apparently the captain was a big fan of Marillion, which was very nice, and we got invited up to the bridge, and that was great. Yeah, really, it was all very calm.
Was it?
So nice guy, and he gave us a quick tour of the bridge, lent me his hat.
Yeah, great photo. Saw that.
Yeah, yeah,
Suited you. Yeah. If the presidency doesn't work out, then it's another angle, isn't it?
yeah. P&O ferries. Yeah, right. I don't know. I mean, they had one guy just walking up and down in the room there, just looking out at the sea, just looking out for hazards.
Yeah.
Wow.
Apparently that's all he does, which is, and we actually found the red button, bit of a Father Ted moment, really.
What's
Red
this do?
button, and we say, "What's that red button?" And it was the ship, the big ship Hooter,
All right.
And I said, "Well, can we press it then?" He said, "Well, yeah."
And everybody took turns.
And then a bit later on, Simon Phillips came up for a quick look round as well. And I said to Simon, "There's a red button there. You can press that." I think Wishbone Ash were on the pool stage at the time.
Wow. You've got to do it in time then.
Yeah,
Drummers, you've got to do it in time.
yeah, it was in time. Simon pressed that button in time. Yeah. Who else did I see? Adrian Ballou.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, phenomenal musicians. Really, really great. I saw Mike Portnoy's band. I can't remember the name. He's in so many.
Flying Colours.
It was Flying Colours. Yeah. They're very good. But Mike, I can't keep up with him. He's been in so many bands over the
He
last.
has, but he's back at Dream Theatre now, so he might calm down a little bit, I think, hopefully.
I doubt
But
it.
I say hopefully. I don't want him to because I like all the other bands he's in. So love
Right.
Transatlantic and Neil Morse band and all that sort of thing.
He's a nice guy. Hello. Sorry about that. I got a new phone today.
Yeah.
Just spent the last 3 hours entering passcodes and registering this and that just to get it going again properly. But yeah, my other phone, I couldn't hear anyone talking anymore, which was,
All right.
I thought it was just the drumming thing. But it wasn't my hearing.
No. Because you've got a few weeks off now, do you still practice or do you not need to after all this time?
Well, I haven't done anything really for the last since the cruise.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I keep disappearing down these like everybody. I'm sure everybody does. I go down these YouTube wormholes,
Yeah.
and I'll suddenly realise I've been looking at YouTube for 3 or 4 hours. And the other morning I was looking at like the history of Buddy Rich, one of my heroes when I was a kid. And that's just an amazing story. But the last thing, apparently, on the day he died in hospital, he went in for an operation, and the nurse said, "Are you allergic to anything?" And the last thing he said was, "Yeah, country and western." So I've been doing lots of YouTubing. Just watching loads of stuff.
And are you doing it for tips? Are you doing it out of, sort of knowledge or?
Just to get inspirations, really.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many fantastic musicians about. Let me just, hello, GP surgery. Oh, that's it. All our sites will be closed from 1 p.m. on the 10th of April. Well, that's handy, isn't it?
Well, that's really good, yeah. Don't get ill tomorrow afternoon.
No. A minute. Right. I'm going to just turn that, if I find the right button, I'll turn it to silent. What were we saying?
Talking about drummers that you've been watching on YouTube, and do you get tip? Do you sort of get tips from it, or
I just go on it just to get inspired, really. But I tend to, I mean, there are some great musicians about. The thing I'm not sure about, some of the musicians on there, I might be completely wrong, but it seems to me like they need to actually get out of the room and go and actually play with a band,
right? Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
rather than playing along to loops or just to experience getting in a band and playing with other people. But I still revert back to get inspired to stuff I've been listening to for the last 40, 50 years. I go back to watching Buddy Rich drum solos, and there's some great. I mean, the guy in what's his name, Bard in Leprous, that band.
yeah.
He's a great player, but on another planet. I could pretend to play like that for about a minute and a half, maybe. It's very complex. It's
Yeah.
It really is, and you've got to be Olympian, I think, to play like that.
Can you still listen to music for relaxation or not?
Oh yeah, yeah. I listened to a very good. A guy the other day died. I can't keep saying how he's. But no, the drummer called Jerry Conway,
Yeah,
lots and lots of people. But in the 70s, he did a lot of Cat Stevens albums.
yeah,
And they're albums that I can listen to and just, I suppose when anyone listens to music, that it takes them to a time and a place, doesn't it? And
yes,
those, Tea for the Tillerman and all those albums, they take me to a place. There's some wonderful arrangements. And Jerry's drumming on it, the drumming's really good. So that was sad that he died.
yeah. He was in Fairport as well, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. In
Yeah.
fact, I saw him a couple of years back because we were at Property, and I went into the dressing room just to say hello to him because I'd never met him before, and he seemed like a really nice guy. But I think Dave Mattox, another good friend of mine, he's with Fairport pretty much full time these days, I think.
Right.
Yeah, he's a great player. No, I mean, I don't know if I answered your question really. I'd listen to YouTube to get inspiration. I still go, as I say, I go back in time a lot and listen to people that I got inspired by many years ago. Another guy's Christian Vander, the guy who plays in a band called Magma.
Yeah.
Just a fantastic musician and a one-off as well. And Simon Phillips, Gavin Harrison, he's a great player.
Yeah.
I'm actually seeing him on, I don't know, in a couple of days' time. I go around to his house and we just talk about wing nuts and cymbals.
Okay.
He's a great player though, and everything he does, Gavin, with Pineapple Thief is his sort of
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he's just taken that up for me. He's taken that band to another level now.
I've been a fan of Pineapple Thief for years and years, and it's a different band now, and he's much more involved in the writing of the stuff.
Yeah.
The first album, he kind of just did the percussion, and then he's got much more involved with Bruce Sword, and they write together now. And the new album is wonderful. It really is. Just going back to Magma, I saw Magma last year supporting Porcupine Tree.
That's right, they did, didn't they? Well, I think
Yeah.
Steve Wilson is a big fan of Magma, so you can't be.
It was my first exposure to Magma. I'm not sure what I thought, if I'm honest. There were lots of them. There were a lot of people on stage.
I think it's a tricky one with Magma because I saw them in the 70s, and they're all getting on a bit now, but
Yeah. But they seem to have fleshed the lineup out with younger members as well now.
right. Well, in the 70s, the first time I ever saw Magma was at the Roundhouse,
Yeah.
and before it got glammed up, it was just the kind of hippies and sawdust on the floor there.
Spit and sawdust.
Yeah, and I remember seeing them, and I was with a friend of mine, and they came on stage, and we didn't move from the spot for 2 hours. And when it finished, my friend looked at me and said, "What is it I've just witnessed?" I mean, it was unbelievable. It
Yeah.
really was. The whole philosophy of the band, I think, they invented their own kind of language and but his playing, it was kind of, it's like watching a Keith Moon, but with an incredible technique. And I mean, mad, completely mad.
Yeah, I mean, he's still, from what I saw, still very much the centre of the band. Everything was kind of based around him.
Mm.
And there were lots of people in the crowd who were there just to see Magma because they don't play very often now, do they?
No, in fact, I mean, I saw them a couple of years back. It was funny. They played at where did they play? Lorelei in Germany.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And Lucy was there, and she got his autograph for me,
Oh, brilliant.
which was really nice.
Yeah.
I've got it framed actually up here somewhere. Yeah, it's on the wall up there. But now I said to Lucy, I used to play Magma at home, and Lucy used to. Well, I always say if you want to get rid of people, you've got a dinner party, you want to get rid of people, put Magma on, and they just leave. Can't handle it. And Lucy was a bit kind of the same. She used to go, "What the hell were you listening to?" And then we went to Cardigan Hall. Is that what it's called?
Cadogan Hall.
Cadogan Hall,
Yeah, Cadogan Hall, to see them, and she loved them.
Right. Okay.
So I think it is a matter of going there, being in the right environment to see a band like Magma. And I don't know whether the support slot with the Steve Wilson with Porcupine Tree would. I don't know if that's a good.
I don't know. They seem to go down well. To be fair to them, they went down well, and they got a fair chunk of time. They must have done 45 minutes to an hour, so they got a decent amount of time. He obviously, as you say, he's a fan and he respects what they do. So
Years and years, a couple of decades ago, I went to see them playing in London somewhere, and the snooker player was being their promoter. What's his name?
What? Steve, not Steve Davis.
Steve Davis, yeah.
Was it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and so, I mean, what a great guy being into Magma, So he really soared in my estimation. What a great bloke. But he was promoting Magma. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. He's a DJ and all sorts of things now. There's a whole other side of Steve Davis.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why he's Steve Interesting Davis.
He is Steve Interesting Davis now. He's living up to it, isn't he?
I met him after that gig actually, and he seemed like a really nice guy.
You mentioned Lord Hackett in your chats about the cruise. I understand he's doing an album with Steve Rothery. You've not been asked to contribute to that?
No, I haven't. I don't know really what's happening about that. I mean, Steve Rothery, he tends not to tell us anything. So,
yeah, we've covered his last minute tour dates, and letting the band know on a previous podcast. Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, in fact, we were all, there was Steve Hackett, Steve Rothery, Steve Wilson, quite a few. We were all at the Albert Hall a few weeks back.
All right.
We went to the Circus du Soleil show.
Yeah.
Then Steve Hackett said to me, he said, "Ian, any idea what's going on with the album that I've done with Steve?" I've got no idea. He said, "Is it finished?" I said, "I don't know, Steve." I said, "I'll give it another year or two." And I mean, Steve Hackett for the last probably, I don't know, 15 years or so, every time we see each other, he said, we really should do something together again. And I go, yeah.
I'd love to see that.
I mean, I'd like, one day I think we probably will, but now it's becoming a bit of a, I mean, at the Albert Hall the other week, Steve said to me, "Ian, I know we keep saying it, it's just I've been so busy." He said, "But we really should do something again together." I said, yeah, Steve, you've been mentioning it for the last 15 or 20 years. It'd be good.
Well, I know, I think I mentioned it last time we spoke, but I'm lucky enough to have seen you on the Highly Strung tour. And that was a cracking band, it really was.
Highly Strung. That was
the Hackett Highly Strung tour.
Did it actually tour?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I remember doing the album, but it was good fun to do that album. There's a couple of good tracks on it, I think.
Yeah. And yeah, I think I didn't see you on it, but you played the tour for Cured as well, didn't you?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The Cured album was, I mean, the album was all drum machine.
All drum machines, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
So I was just kind of brought in and asked to play what the drums machines were playing. Really. Well, I wasn't asked to play that. Steve just let me play whatever I wanted, which is great. But it was it was a good band. Yeah, it was really good fun. And Chaz Cronk on bass.
Yeah.
He's another really nice guy. In fact, he's on a cruise at the moment with someone. I think is it Colin Blunstone?
Oh, possibly. Yeah, yeah.
Maybe, but yeah, he's a very good bass player.
Yeah, I remember the days of saying "Cry No More" and just crying, laughing with how hysterical they were.
Cry No More. Yeah. Wait a minute, who was in Cry No More?
Yeah, Chaz Cronk was in, wasn't he?
Is it Chet?
Yeah.
I'm not sure it was he?
Yeah, it was.
I'm
Is that
searching.
is that the band that with Roy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Craig's right. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Oh, they were just brilliant. Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely filthy, but absolutely hilarious.
Yeah. 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 I think we got them along at one of the conventions once, and we asked Roy to behave, and of course he didn't.
Oh, he didn't.
No, no.
I think quite a few people got a bit upset, but I just was laughing my head off.
Yeah, Roy compared the bootleg bingo set, didn't he?
That's right. Yeah.
I think the first time I saw them, they supported you on the 10th anniversary gig at Wembley, and he was just as filthy in front of 10,000 people at Wembley as he was at 1,000 people at the convention.
He just can't help himself.
More power to his elbow.
But yeah, just both of them together make me smile. It's like a double act, isn't it? Chaz is a straight man, and Roy just goes apeshit.
I don't know how I'm going to segue in from apeshit to my next question. Have you got any plan to see Derek on his final tour?
Oh, I haven't thought about it actually. When is it? It's not till next year, is it?
UK leg is February and March next year. Yeah,
I think Aylesbury's about a week or so before Port Zealand's going to be, so it'll be a bit.
Allegedly, Craig. Allegedly.
Oh yeah, allegedly.
Not been announced. Oh dear, you're getting us all in trouble there, aren't you?
Yeah, really. I know nothing.
That's
Nothing
the right
new,
answer. That's the right answer, Ian. Yeah.
There's no weekends next year. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing him. I mean, he's doing waterside theatre in Aylesbury.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
That's really about 20 minutes away from here. So if we're not too hectic, or if we're rehearsing, that'll be okay to take some time out to go and see him.
Yeah.
He's also playing the Palladium, I think.
He is. Yeah, he is. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, good luck to him. Really, I think he's got quite a lot on his plate at the moment, isn't he? With moving to out to Hebrides.
Yes, yes.
So,
He likes the pressure. He's gonna do a European tour, move, and then do a UK tour.
Yeah, all systems normal.
Yeah.
No, as I say, good luck to him. That's quite a long tour.
Yeah.
But he's been. I haven't spoken to him for a while. I usually speak to him, once a year or so. But last time I spoke to him, he was just about to have all his knee operations and whatnot. But now he's got trouble with his teeth now, hasn't he?
Yeah, his front teeth have fallen out. Yeah.
Kissing too many of the girls, that's what it is.
It's happening. It's a sign for all of us. It's coming to all of us.
Well, my teeth aren't that good a nick, but I blame it on American hard guns.
But it's funny to think with Fish doing his retirement tour and stuff now that, it's 40 years ago since Fugazi came out, your first album with the band. And where's the time gone?
It's very scary. Yeah, if you would have said that was 15 years ago, I'd go, yeah, it feels like it. 15 or even 20, but 40 years. Whoa.
I mean, this year's a year of like celebrations like that, because you've got Brave's 30th anniversary was this year, and we're coming up to Marble's 20th anniversary next month. I mean, 20 years since Marbles, that just doesn't compute at all.
No, that it just is. It's terrifying. The speed really does. It speeds up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But well, thanks for cheering me up.
You can rely on us.
But the thing is, I mean, especially like something like, Brave and Marbles. I mean, Fugazi is a classic as this, but Brave and Marbles are two of my top tier albums. Stuff that I just absolutely love, and love them just as much now as I did when I first heard them.
Oh, thanks. Well, that's encouraging that you like them when you first heard them, because a lot of people went, "Gee, what the hell have they done?" With Brave. I remember some of the Brave tour. The audience would just be looking at the stage with the jaws on the floor, thinking, "What's all this about?" It was like doing two separate gigs. We do the Brave album, and then we come out and do Cover My Eyes, and when everyone could see the relief.
We did. We reviewed Brave. Well, we did a 3-part review of Brave. It was that long a few weeks ago, and a lot of the guys on the pod were the same. We didn't quite get the album when we first heard it, studio version, but then when you saw it live, it really, really just fell into place.
That's what a lot of people have said that seeing it live changed their opinion of it, and but it was good fun to do. It was good fun to record. Took forever.
Slightly over budget.
Slightly, yes. Yeah, it got very out of hand, I think. So, but it was good fun, and being in France in the chateau was quite a unique experience. I did all the backing tracks, and then I went back. I was living in America at the time, and I went back to America. And then after about a month, I thought, well, I better call and see how it's all going. And I called, and they said, "Oh, it's going great. We've just finished the basses." I went, "What?" And of course, it went from there to Pass Street Studio. I think it's a Pass Street Studios.
Yeah.
In Liverpool. But yeah, it was really good fun.
It seems to be the album where the current lineup really sort of gelled and began working together at the same pace, so to say.
I agree. I think I've said that before. I think it happened, the Marillion's first album script, and then Fugazi, we were kind of getting to know each other again. I was the new boy, and then it came together as a band for Misplaced, which was the third album. And that kind of, for me, that sort of happened with when Steve H joined the band. We did Season's End, and we had a lot of material written already. And then the second album, was that Holidays?
Yeah.
Well, suddenly we had a blank canvas. There's the five of us in a room with a blank canvas, and it's like, whoa, what do we do? We've got to get to know each other, and it was hard work. For me, I think there's some great songs on Holidays. I know it's divided opinion on the album, but I think there's the Splintering Heart, which is a favourite these days.
Amazing, yeah.
Yeah, and
This Town 100 Nights.
Yeah, I mean, I think all those tracks come to live are still up there. So, and I like No One Can. I like that song. I think it's a really good song. But Brave, I think, that's when we actually suddenly became a unit, all going down the same road.
Yeah,
and we got to know each other, and we're all on the same page, really. So third album again.
Yeah. I mean, it's out of all of your body of work, it's my favourite album. It's just, it's stunning. Still now stunning. Really is.
I fight between Brave, Afraid of Sunlight, and Marbles as my three from that period there. By far, when after Brave came out and we went on to Afraid of Sunlight, it was like, how can you possibly top Brave? Then Afraid of Sunlight comes out, it's like out the park. Brilliant.
I don't remember. We recorded Afraid of Sunlight pretty quickly, I think.
Yeah.
And I don't really remember much about it at all, which is really odd. It's not odd, actually, in the Maria camp. You'd probably ask any of us, and they go, "Oh, I can't really remember that."
Yeah, Tim Sidwell says you can't remember. You all tell him you can't remember stuff, and then you talk for an hour about it. But yeah,
yeah. But I don't remember a lot about Afraid of Something. I just remember it being recorded pretty quickly.
Yeah.
For a Maria album, and the recording process has changed a lot over the last 10, 20 years. It really has. For me, I mean, I used to always go in knowing everything that we were going to record, and I'd do the drum tracks in, I don't know, between 7 days and 10 days, all the backing tracks for drums. And then my favourite part of recording an album was I've done my bit and I can sit in the control room and listen to it all being built. There'll be a day of guitars, overdubs, keyboard, whatever. And I used to love that, just listening to something grow. That doesn't happen anymore, really, because everything is kind of jams, and a lot of the jams are used on the album.
Yeah.
So I don't have that moment of sitting in a control room anymore and listening to things growing, because the boys still go and overdub things, and some of the work's done at home because they've got their home studios, just technology. But the essence of all the music is still the five of us in a room just playing.
When you are jamming, how often do you kind of get that feeling that this current piece of music might be something that we work on, or is it only afterwards that you realise that?
Yeah, the magic does happen once every year or two. It's like trying to herd cats. No, it's the five of us can be in a room jamming, and 2 or 3 days can go by and nothing happens. And then one day we might go in and suddenly a little bit of magic will happen. And you see everybody go, whoa, what was that? That was good. And luckily, Mike Hunter records every single thing we do, because we're all not very good. I mean, Steve Roddy might play a guitar lick, and I'll go, Steve, that was great. Do that again. He'll go, what? But it's recorded, so we know what it is.
Yeah.
So it is all it's very organic, and it's kind of spontaneous, really. But yeah, then once we've been in rehearsing or jamming, suddenly we'll hit a seam of, a golden seam where suddenly every day something would happen, something really positive. But things like, I remember when we first jammed Neverland, when the initial jam of that came about, everybody's eyes lit up. Went, well, that's something special.
Yeah.
So we know when it happens. Most of the time, a lot of the time, we don't know anything, and Mike tells us what's good and what isn't.
It's interesting chatting. We interviewed James Levy, who does the making ofs and catalogues a lot of stuff for you. James has got an encyclopedic knowledge of the origins of tracks and where things started, and it's amazing how far back some of these things go. You get a riff or a section that you just can't make work for 10, 15 years. Then all of a sudden it finds its home and it takes off.
Yeah, that does happen. I mean, we've got hundreds of pieces of little snippets of music sort of on the shelf. And most of the band have probably forgotten about the majority of them. But Mike is the same. He's got that, I don't know, it's really encyclopedic, his mind. And he can suddenly go, wait a minute, there's a bit here. What do you think of this? And we go, oh, that's great. When did we do that? And he'll either say 3 years ago or last week.
But it's funny considering that it's been 2 years now since an hour before it's dark, and technically the 20th studio album, and you can't name offhand any band whose 20th studio album is up there as by far one of the best. it just doesn't happen.
We're very fortunate. I mean, I wish I knew what the secret was really, but none of us do. Otherwise, we'd be laughing, wouldn't we? But
Don't want to know. Don't look for it. Just yeah, it is what it is.
all we can do is just, go in and do what we do, write and record stuff that we like, and
Yeah.
hope that when it's released, people get off on it. But no, it's. I mean, what I love about this band. I mean, I love a lot of things about this band, but is that we're not going out and doing the whole kind of nostalgia trip.
Yes.
So many bands that have been together for such a long time that all they do is go out and play their hits. Luckily, we haven't got many hits. So, um, but I'm really glad that we still all feel like we're moving forward.
I think there's a lot to be said for that. Craig has a campaign that he's really trying to get off the ground on this podcast, which is to get you to play Brave at the Albert Hall.
Yeah, no pressure there.
Well, I thought I'd throw it in, Craig. You never know.
Well, it's been one of my wants, and it's something that Lucy wants as well. So it's not I'm my own with this one. So
It's the kind of ideal setting for the Brave album, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
We could put on a great show there. Yeah. Well, watch this space. You never know. I don't, if we can remember all the parts, I'm sure there's a way we could do it.
I know there's a This Strange Engine remix reissue is almost ready to go now. How involved are you in pulling these reissues together? Do you kind of get involved in selection of the live stuff, or are things sent to you for you to sort of give the green light to, or?
Yeah, nearly everything is sent to us, whether it's artwork or some of the old mixes, kind of semi-bootleg stuff. They're all sent to us for approval.
Yeah.
And Mike's really got a handle on it all, and we kind of, I mean, I completely trust Mike's judgment. So if Mike says something's all right, if he sends me something, so just have a quick run through this, and it's 2.5 hours long, I'll go, oh my God.
yeah, I start meeting in the middle.
And often when you listen to stuff, sometimes it's difficult because, I'll put the drum parts or the performance under a microscope, and that might not be the essence of what it's about.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, it's the same as we'll come off stage and we've done a great gig and no one says anything. You come off stage when you think you've done one of the worst gigs you've ever done, and people say that was one of the best gigs we've ever seen. So really, we do know nothing.
Well, it's not that, is it? I mean, yourself from going to a gig, 50% of it is your state of mind and the atmosphere and what's going on around you. And
Absolutely, yeah, it is.
If you go in a bad mood, it's very difficult to have a great gig.
Yeah. And that includes the band.
I understand that Pete's one of the most
Self-critical.
That's the word. That's the very words I'm looking for. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, he often comes off stage going, that was dreadful, and you go, what? The audience are going berserk. They loved it, but I kind of sympathise with them and I relate to it because in a way I'm the same. I hate making mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
The only saving grace is that a rule I've always had throughout my whole career, before Maroon, before Hackett, everyone, was that if I'm going to party at all, I always party on after the last gig before a day off.
Right. Yeah.
Because if I, partied after a gig and we had a gig the next day and I made a cock up, I'd just like to know that it's because I made a cock up, not because, I was having a good time the night before.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've kind of tried to stick to that rule. And Pete's is, I think we're all the same, really. What is good over the last 10, 20 years, that I don't know, it's just because we've all got older, but I think everyone's more relaxed about stuff. When things go wrong live, and things always, live stuff happens.
Yeah.
But 20 years ago, that could have been, people walking off stage in a bad mood, or Mark and Steve H had an argument about something because something blew up, or
Yeah. Yeah.
but these days it's that can still easily happen. Don't get me wrong, it's Spinal Tap, isn't it, really? But more often than not, we can kind of go, oh well, something's gone wrong. It's gone wrong. What can you do? And a lot of the time, it can, from an audience point of view, I think it can kind of break the ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was in my teens or early 20s, if I went along to see a band and something went wrong and everyone was really pissed off on stage and you saw that everyone was in a bad mood, it kind of that disturbed me. Whereas if you see a band on stage, something goes wrong and they say, oh, well, sorry about that, let's have another go,
Yeah. And you can have a laugh and the audience relate and everybody's in it together.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it. And I think we've got very, very good at that. I'm touching wood now.
But do you actually think as years have gone on that you're enjoying touring more because you feel it more relaxed, or is you not enjoying it as much because of the travel as it's getting more difficult? And obviously when we had COVID and stuff, the restrictions got really, really difficult, and you managed to get through a tour where you all had to keep separate.
Yeah, the COVID thing was very, very odd. It really was. I mean, we were even segregated from the crew.
Yeah.
That was just very strange. And plus it meant that the five of us were on a bus together. We had to talk to each other.
Yeah, God, no.
No one else to talk to. But it was very odd. Coming off stage and getting kind of straight onto a bus and not seeing anybody. I mean, Lucy came up to, I think we were in Scotland doing a gig.
Yeah, it was Edinburgh, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, she came to Edinburgh and I wasn't allowed to see her. Just a bit odd.
I mean, you had a very close call though, didn't you? Because Mr. Kelly did get COVID just before the tour, didn't he?
Yeah, we banned him. He was banned from the bus for the first few days, just in case. But yeah, it was all extraordinary circumstances, wasn't it? Plus we did the Marillion Insurance Fund as well.
Yeah.
Insure tours, and there was some brilliant aspects of it. Plus what Lucy got together with the convention, the online convention stuff.
The couch convention.
The couch convention, yeah.
Yeah, great idea.
It was brilliant, and it really was brilliant. And I was after it happened, I felt like we'd done a convention. I was knackered. I hadn't moved out of my living room, so. But yeah, it was a good thing. But yeah, touring now. I mean, I own up that I find touring. I really hate flying. I hate airports. I hate. It's that Charlie Watts said, didn't he? Hurry up and wait. I think he said with the Stones. What was his quote? 30 years in the Stones. Was it 25 years hanging about and 5 years a gig?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I find that stressful. Flying. It seems like these days you never know if a flight's going to be on time, whether it's even going to take off, or you just never know. So I think we've managed to get it pretty good balance. So, and I'm enjoying doing the conventions because it means we're in one place for more than a night.
Yeah.
Yeah, the convention thing, the 2 nights in places now does seem a really good way forward of a different kind of touring. And it gives you a bit more flexibility, and you're not on a tour bus all the time, and it ticks so many boxes.
Yeah, I mean, I used to hate being on tour buses. I don't know why, but I could never sleep on a tour bus. But the last 10 years, I've actually started enjoying being on a tour bus because I know I get on a bus and when I wake up, I'm at the next gig. I don't have to go to airports or, get out of bed at 4 a.m. to catch a plane at the crack of dawn. Or so it does depend on who's driving your bus, of course.
Don't want to take the car on 2 wheels and fall out the bunk.
Well, Charlie, the guy we use, Charlie, our bus driver. I mean, he's a great character and a lovely bloke, and he's a brilliant driver. So, I can lie on my bunk thinking, well, I'm in pretty safe hands. Who knows what's going to happen?
Looking at next year's conventions, I think we talked to Lucy about the Holland convention potentially being a gig on the Thursday, a night off on the Friday, and a gig Saturday, Sunday to break it up for you guys.
Really? I didn't know that.
Oh, okay.
So you're speaking out of
Sorry to
school
break
now.
it to you. Yeah, yeah.
I can hear Lucy laughing.
Coming in.
Are you laughing?
You did know that.
So what we're doing? We're playing on the Thursday.
Well, I haven't officially announced it yet, but yeah, it's the band though. You're playing on the Thursday and the Saturday and the Sunday.
So with Friday, what are we doing Friday?
Wherever you want.
Really?
Whatever you want.
Oh, all right.
Presenting Planet Marzipan Domestic.
Yeah. Excuse me while I'm going to sort something out. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, it's different for me because I'm a drummer
Yeah.
as well. I mean, think of person we have to think about most of all is Steve Hogarth because of his voice.
Yeah.
Keep his voice in good order. I'm behind a drum kit. I've got something to hide behind.
It's still very physical what you do, isn't it?
Well, I suppose it is, but it's most of it these days for me. It's kind of the mental thing, really, because there's so much to remember and playing to click tracks and whatnot.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, if I'm one beat out, then everything's out of sync because we might be playing to loops, we might have back projection going on that's all in time to click. So that's the stressful side of it. The playing part of it. I mean, some of the tracks that we do, we still don't have click tracks and whatnot. And that's kind of nice because it doesn't matter then.
Yeah.
Just, go freeform.
When did you start playing to click tracks?
Well, it was a gradual thing, really. I mean, I used to play to click tracks quite often when I was doing sessions, well before Steve Hackett and stuff. But with Marillion, I think it was quite gradual. We'd start some tracks like Afraid of Sunlight. It starts with a drum loop.
Yeah.
Usually the drum loops are me playing anyway, but they might be, might have added some effects to them but so we might start a track like Afraid of Sunlight where you have maybe 8 bars or 16 bars of drum loop and then the real drums come in on top of it. And that's the end of the loop.
Yeah.
So I think that's the first one that I can remember with Marillion. With Steve Hackett, we did a number called Camino Royale.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was something else because it was well before in-ear monitors and click tracks and things. And I used to have big speakers behind me. And Camino, they had this like a troupe of Brazilian percussionists coming through. And I had to play along to that. So, of course, I had to have that incredibly loud to be able to play in time with it. So that's the first kind of experience I had with playing live with loops.
Yeah.
And then with Marillion, we tend to put a click track with nearly everything these days. But we program it so the click can speed up and slow down. Because it's, music should speed up and slow down.
Yeah.
But I think it probably takes a lot of getting used to, but it's kind of second nature for me these days.
I don't know if this is too nerdy a question at all, but do you program it slightly faster for the live sets or not? Or would you stick to the studio?
I think 9 times out of 10, or 10 times out of 10, we listen to a track before we start rehearsing it and go, that's slow, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because, the live environment as well, when you've got adrenaline pumping and we can start the track and then you think, wow, this is so slow because your body's going, come on.
Yeah, yeah.
So we do tend to nudge things up a bit. And that usually can be done in rehearsals. We can tell in rehearsals that maybe that should be nudged up a few BPMs.
Yeah, yeah.
It's as I said, it's music should slow down and speed up, and it's just natural.
Well, certainly the sort of music that you guys play as well. Peaks
Mm.
and troughs and different moods and
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there's still we still have room to kind of improvise here and there. Even if a number's clicked up, it doesn't mean to say that click goes all the way through. There might be a section where there's no click at all. We just play. You might get to another section that needs to be pinned down more, and yeah.
So you're going to get itchy feet this year with not touring.
I'm getting cabin fever already, to be honest. I wanted to go to the studio this week and just have a little knock around on the studio kit. But Mike's up in Liverpool doing some stuff, so there was no one at the studio. And British Drum Company is the company I'm with now with my drum kits, and they sent me a new snare drum last week, so it's sitting in the other room. I want to get it on the kit and see what it's like, and I want Mike there to record it so I can hear what it sounds like recorded.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think my plan at the moment is to next week actually I'm going to go in for a couple of days and just give the kit a dusting and see if I can still play. But I've got a practice pad here, and like what I said, I'll go down that YouTube wormhole and I can put headphones on and can play along to stuff as well.
Yeah.
Which I like to do. And I can do that here just on practice pads. It's good to do because, after, even if you've done a big tour, if you have 2 or 3 weeks off, it doesn't take long before, I think I should do some practice. And
Yeah.
get my wrist loosened up again.
I think your itch will get scratched when you can get all the guys back together and start jamming again, and when Pete's feeling better and Thunderbirds will be go.
Yeah, Thunderbirds will go. No, I think it would be good. I mean, I don't know when Pete. I mean, realistically, it's going to be another month or two before Pete's firing on all cylinders. I would have thought.
Yeah.
But that lightweight bass, is a good thing because he's going to feel it. It's quite a physical thing what Pete does.
Yeah.
The way he plays. And so, yeah, it'll be good when all 5 of us are back in the studio again. Yeah, because it's good. The 5 of us together, it's a good thing because we can all talk rubbish to each other and actually understand what each other is saying, which is miraculous.
I did mention this to you before we started recording, but we are going to interview Georgina Wistow next week. Have you got any message or question that we can ask George on your behalf that's broadcastable?
That's broadcastable.
Yeah, when are we getting started on the second book?
Yeah, the second book.
Well, the first one sold out, hasn't it?
It's getting reprinted.
Yeah, actually it did. It did really well, which I'm really pleased. I mean, I'm pleased for George that it worked out because she's the one that put all the effort into it. I just sat there and she just asked me questions and I talked rubbish for a year or two,
It's a good read.
And it's hilarious. I mean, there's so much stuff in it. I mean, when I was reading it and the missus was reading something else at the same time, I was keep bursting out laughing. She's like, "Oh, what's he done now?"
It's a good read. I think occasionally I'll look at a page and go, oh, that's interesting, and it's quite a light read, but it was fun to do, and I'm really glad people have enjoyed it.
Yeah.
As you said, it did sell out, so I think we got some more manufactured a few weeks back.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant!
But it's great in so much as the fact that she's captured you perfectly, and a lot of us who know you a bit, and you'd say, yeah, that's Ian down to a T, and just random stories, and it's just hilarious.
I think it captures your sense of humour.
Yeah,
Ian.
completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what question could I ask George?
Well, you might have to get back to us on that.
Something to make her blush.
I'm trying to think of something, but
It's fine. We'll pass on your best wishes.
oh yeah, no, do that.
Yeah.
I saw her the other day actually. Yeah, she seemed good. I think she should pursue her for writing,
Yes.
really, because she could. Maybe she should. Pete hasn't done a book yet, has he?
No, no.
Actually, yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, Pete's got some stories, but I don't.
Well, there you go. We'll plant the seed next week when we speak to her.
All right then. Yeah. No, send her my love.
Yeah, of course. Of course we will.
If she can lend me a fiver, that'd be.
That's the question.
Yeah, where's me royalties?
That's the question. Yeah.
Yeah, lend us a fiver. I'm waiting for the Bratislavian record advance to come through. So
Oh, well, look, Ian, it's been fantastic to talk to you. Thank you very much for your time. When the book is available again, if you haven't read it, we do highly recommend it. It's available from Marillion.com, or it will be shortly.
well, thanks, fellas. No, I've enjoyed it. So, yeah, nice one.
And we'd love to have you on again.
Yeah, anytime. Well, set this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, not tomorrow. Yeah. Ian, thanks very much, and thanks for sparing the time to speak to us.
No, you're very welcome. Thank you. Let me get Lucy back in there now.
Yeah, she needs to come in at the end of yours.
Yeah. All right. Lucy,
Yeah.
just checking.
You're still there, you haven't run away.
Still here.
Yeah, no, I'm just gambling.
You're gambling. See what I've got to put up with.
That's why he's got to work.
I'm going to go to bed and have a cocoa and stuff, and she's gambling.
But look,
What? Have you won anything? 222. No.
222 quid.
What?
Well, let's give up the day jobs.
Oh,
Look,
oh my God!
222 quid.
What's that you're playing then?
Online slots. Just had a little. I put a tenner in the online roulette. I didn't win, so I put a tenner in the online slots, and I've won 222 quid.
Sure. I'll rather
This is where all the merchandise money's going, is it? Online casinos.
How can I help?
I think it'd be better if she had a drink problem.
Well, we just wanted to say hello and thank you for lending us your husband, really. But it's only fair that you come in on the end of his episode because he did so on yours, didn't he?
He did. Oh yes, you interrupted my episode.
Didn't I?
Yeah.
Well, we did ask him that question that you and I disagree on.
Which it was.
Oh, the prog.
The Supertramp question.
Did you say they're prog?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Well, what do you think they are in?
Prog.
Country and western.
I don't know. Come on. Come on, be sensible now.
You know we did
What
the
do you mean,
poll
be
as well,
sensible?
Lucy, don't you?
You did the poll. Oh,
Yeah,
well,
and everybody, and it came out 70% prog, so.
They are.
well, then I don't like them anymore.
They're a great band. I'm surprised they haven't done oh, man, are they still alive?
They don't get on, do they? Roger and Rick don't get on, so they are still alive, yeah.
He's dead.
I know.
Yeah.
I've tried to get away from everyone
Yeah.
I know's dead.
Yeah. Oh, we've reached that age where it's just going, oh, he's dead. Oh, yeah, he's dead.
We might need to put a at time of recording after everything that Ian said.
Yeah, at time of recording, all information.
But actually, it's in the book as well, because that's one of the things that keeps coming up on the Do I Owe You Money book, that somebody else, they talked about somebody, oh, they're dead. So it's a common theme.
Yeah.
It's a common thing.
It's disturbing. It's just that, I mean, people die, over the last year or two, people have died, and I thought, oh dear. And then go, wait a minute, they were younger than me.
Well, you said that thing, didn't you? You said that thing of, when you're 15 and someone is 20, they are so grown up.
Yeah.
And now Ian's 70 and the 75-year-olds are not that far. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
they're only 75.
No, it's very odd.
Well, of the age difference between us, you know. He's like, yeah, well, I was 30 when I did Misplaced Childhood, and I'm like, oh, I was 15 when I saw it. You know, wouldn't have married me then. Would have been a bit pervy.
Yeah, just a bit.
But I am a drummer.
There is form.
No, I wasn't listening because I was gambling in the other room, but I just turned the volume down and I heard Ian say, "Oh, I don't know about that."
Yeah.
That was
The conventions. No, I didn't know.
you did know.
No, I'm sure you told us. I bet the rest of the band don't know. But you'll see when Lucy tells us stuff and we all agree to it, and then months later we go, "What? What are you talking about?" And then she'll send all the emails round with proof that we agreed to something.
I'm actually going to start recording the meetings as well, so that I've got audio proof of you going, "Yeah, that's a good idea," so that you don't all go, "Oh, what?"
Might be a deep fake though.
AI now, anything's possible, isn't it? Yeah.
Get Barnes on the case.
I've got to get back to my gambling.
All right.
You've got a house to lose.
When's the How Can It Hurt single coming out?
I like How Can It Hurt?
I know you do, but everybody else didn't on the pod that night, did they?
No, and they're wrong. Wronger than a wrong thing that's very wrong.
How can it hurt?
Do you want me to sing it? It kind of goes, how can it hurt when I don't understand?
You're out of time.
Of course I'm out. Of course I'm out.
And on that bombshell.
I was going to say that's it. We're done. We're out, aren't we? At that.
All right, my loves. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Take care, pair of you.
Yeah, cheers.
Nice to see
Bye.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I'm exhausted.
Wow. Okay. I need to do an end for that, don't we?
But that was great.
That was really good. It was really good. It was lovely to speak to Ian and Lucy as well at the end there. And we just want to thank him for his time and for arranging the chat that we've just had. And we hope you enjoyed it out there in Listerland. And all that remains to say is it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him.
Take care.
And stay alive. Yay! Thanks for listening to Planet Marzipan Podcast. Please like and subscribe from whichever platform you get your podcasts from. You can contact us at planetmarzipanpodcast@gmail.com and check out marillion.com, fishmusic.scot or fishmusic.eu for all the good stuff.